Hi, I'm Michele Blanck. I'm doing makeup tutorial today. Today's palette is going to be the Too Faced Unbearably Glam Holiday Palette, and we'll be getting to that in just a little bit. I usually start with a hack, which is using the Benefit Highbrow to highlight the eyebrows, but I put it underneath my eyes to brighten it up. But today I have a little bit of a blemish here and a little bit of a blemish here, and I'm going to address those first with a little bit of a tip to help you out with those. I am going to be using the Boing Industrial Strength Concealer, but I'm going to actually be dabbing this on first before I move on to the under eye area. And the reason why I'm doing that is when you have something like a blemish or a place on your face that you really want to get covered up, some discoloration or a particularly tricky age spot, you want to put the product on and give it a moment to rest. So what that's going to do is, now that the product is on the skin, it's going to heat up, become a little bit more pliable. So when we go over it with other products, it's going to blend out much, much easier. Now we'll move on to the usual first hack, which is the Benefit Highbrow, which is this one here. I'm going to brighten up under the eyes. Now we'll go back to the Benefit Boing and get the age spots that are showing up. These are a little bit easier to cover and conceal, so they don't really need time. The product doesn't need time to sit there and warm up to your skin. Once I put the foundation on, it's all going to blend out beautifully. Next step, I'm moving on to the Urban Decay Foundation. This is the All-Nighter, and the shade is 0.5. Got a little splotchy. A barely dampened beauty blender and dot this on. All right, let's blend it out. Don't forget to press into the sides of your nose. It almost always gets red and redder as we get older. So you can see on my forehead where the two blemishes are, giving that product just a few moments to warm up on the skin before blending it out has really aided in the effectiveness of the concealer and the foundation that I've used on top of it. Next, I am moving on to the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in Fair Beige. I'm going to take my Jelly Bean Beauty Blender and blend it out. One of the reasons why I use a Jelly Bean Beauty Blender for the concealer, I really don't want to put the concealer all over my face, and in a large beauty blender, you're going to end up spreading out that concealer, and you really don't need to do that. Okay, moving on to the palette. It is the Too Faced Unbearably Glam palette, which looks like this. Lots of fun colors in there. So the first color that I'm going to dip into is going to be this one right here. It's called Nutcracker. We're going to put that into the crease. Gotta find the crease in order to put it in there. My Robert De Niro face. Yep, there we go. Now a blending brush, soften that line. It is so satisfying. Every single step of the makeup process, you get to see improvement and change and transformation. I love every step of this. I am moving on to this one right here, which looks very similar to this one, but it's a shimmer and it's called All I Want. I'm going to be putting this in the lid. Bib it. You know, I think one of the reasons why I love doing makeup so much is that I used to be in the military. I was in the Air Force for a few years, and everything is so restricted that once I got out of the military, and I was still in my early 20s, I just went sort of hog wild and bought all of the makeup, and just I've been on a kick ever since. I'm 51 now, so that doesn't really show any signs of slowing. Good, now we're going to blend this out a little bit. Just little circles, and everything to be blurry and soft. Now I am going to take that same color, that same shimmer, All I Want, I'm going to put a line of that underneath my eyes. And I swear, all I want is more makeup. I'm going to go about halfway across. I promised you funky and bright, so we are going to this color right here, which is called Candy Cane. I'm going to be putting this right into the center of the lid. New bib. Might work a little bit better if I put a little bit on with my finger. Yep. Clean off that same brush. I like this brush, it's really, really little head. Next color I'm moving on to is another shimmer color right here that is called Blue Christmas. We're going to add that underneath the eye. And we're going to put it a little bit into the corner here too. Oh, I am loving these colors. I don't usually spend time thinking about which colors that I'm going to be using before a tutorial video. I just sit down, I pick a palette, and I run with it. So I want to get a little bit of smokiness going on. So the next color that I'm going to be moving on to is going to be this color right here, which is called, oh dear, it's called Sex and Sleigh Bells. Okay, Little Smoky Joe. Little Smoky Joe with Sex and Sleigh Bells. Why not? Oh, Two-Faced, I have never been more proud of you. Next color that I'm going to use is going to be this color right here, which is called Boxes and Bows, and I'm going to put that above. I'm going to use it to blend it all out. Oh, that is a gorgeous sort of dusky mauve color. It's stunning. It's so beautifully harmonizing the browns that I was using and the hot pink, and it's harmonizing all of these colors. I've never used this combination of colors before, so it's just a lovely surprise when that happens. Well done. Well done, Too-Faced. Round of applause. Are beautifully pigmented. If you have not seen my video with one of the other palettes that I used that had like virtually no pigment, check it out, because that palette turned my makeup tutorial into a blooper reel. I'm going to take a fluffy brush with nothing on it and blend it all together. So I'm going to move on to contour now. I'm using the NYX Wonder Stick. It's a cream stick. It's got a light color and a dark color, one on each end. I'm going to be using the darker color for contour. Under the cheekbones. Trying to create a shadow there, make your cheekbones really pop. So your cheekbones are up here, so you want to create a shadow underneath them. A little bit above the eyebrows. Down the sides of the nose. A little help to my hook right here. And chin. Take a Wet n Wild flat-headed brush to blend this out. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Urban Decay setting powder. This is the Ultimate Brush Off, and I think the color is Fair. And I'm going to take the tiniest little bit with my little Jelly Bean Beauty Blender right down the center of my nose. It's essentially enhancing the contour lines that you did just a little bit. The color blush that I'm going to be using is going to be the Tarte Amazonian 24-Hour Clay in Dazzled, which is beautiful. It's one of my favorites. Apples. For highlighter, I am going to be using another Too Faced from the Holiday palette, Foxy Neutrals. Foxy Neutrals. You know, you say foxy and you think it's going to go someplace like really, really cool and sexy, and then it went to neutral. So Foxy Neutrals. That I'm going to be using this highlighter right here. A little bit above here. A little bit above the eyebrows. Tip of the nose. I'm going to put on some eyelashes and I'll be right back. Okay, lashes on. I use the Kiss Magnetic Lashes in the style Lure, and they're very light and very small. I also use the Essence Lash Princess Mascara on the top and bottom lashes, both before and after the lash application. I'm going to move on to the lips. I'm starting with the Revlon Color Stay Nude Lip Liner. And for the lip color, I am going to be using the NYX Suede Matte color in Dainty Days, because you know I love a nude lip. Nudie! All right, let's get this hair down and show you what we did. Okay, we did it. I think that this holiday season is probably going to be quieter than you're used to, but that's okay. Embrace the change of pace. Most people I know have a tendency to get stressed out on the holidays anyway. Sit back, put on some happy colors, and enjoy yourself. And maybe reach out to the people who are going to have a quieter one than they're used to. Just give them a call, send them an email, send them a text, letting them know that you're thinking about them. Be safe, be loving, and go find your face.